Sajida, in the UK, how are the police officers diagnosed as suffering from psychological stress?
It is quite understandable that when you're working in a police force, the work is pretty physically and emotionally demanding. So it is well recognized all over the world that the people who are working in the sensitive positions, such as police, they would need some mental health support. So in that context, in the UK, I'm very pleasantly surprised to know that most of the police force has a mental health unit or occupational health unit associated with the force.
And do the police officers have to self-refer?
Yeah, well, actually the thing is that not all of the police officers suffer from the stress to that extent. Normally, if we look at the ratio in the literature, it suggests that approximately 13% of them would actually experience some sort of disturbances which should be long-lasting, and somehow their mind would not process the memories. So yes, it could be self-referral, or it could be the line managers or the supervisors who would actually somehow notice through the behavior of this staff and would refer them. And obviously everything is confidential and anonymous, so they would be actually suggested actually that there is a health care service provided by the force. If you like, you can go there. And while I was doing my literature, I was very pleasantly surprised to know that the health unit in the British police force is very well equipped with so many resources which which can help them to avoid getting into stress in the first place.
I believe that you found, though, that some of the officers actually sort of hide it. Basically.
Yeah, actually it was interesting. As I told you, my research is a bit of cross-national, so I compared the data with the Pakistani police force as well as the British police force. The reason could be that there is a little bit of, it depends on awareness as well, or perception about the stress itself, which means that sometimes these disturbances or psychological stress is not taken as something overwhelming. So they say it's part of my job and it doesn't affect me at all. But what happens is that over a period of time they keep repressing it, and sometimes just end up affecting their physical health at some point. So one of the reasons which came up during my initial interviews was perhaps fear of contempt, that they just fear they are going to be evaluated, so they just should maintain a particular repo in the police department, so they have to show that they are mentally fit and perfect. And yes, they are as well. They are pretty resilient as well. But as far as acknowledging the fact that they are stressed or they are unable to handle the situation anymore and they need psychological support, there is a bit of resistance in the police officers.
And is that both in Pakistan?
Yes, resistance is there in both of the forces, but in our case, we don't have the resources in the first place. In Pakistan, the taboo is pretty much there. We don't acknowledge mental health.
In Pakistan, how are you going to bring your findings to the attention of the police authorities?
Well, Pakistani police have been fairly cooperative with me, especially the Punjab police and the research development department over there. And before coming to the UK, I already had established some contacts with the key persons there, tried to talk to them about my plans to do some research in the area of psychological assessment. So they were pretty keen to they were quite interested in knowing the progress in my research. So I will recontact them hopefully, and the IG of the Punjab police right now, it's Mr. Habibur Rahman. He quite pleasantly has taken a lot of steps towards ensuring psychological support. So I would be keen to go and establish some contacts with him and the division of the research, and perhaps through cascade workshops, seminars, try to establish some mental health awareness program as a first step. So perhaps that is how I plan to disseminate my findings.
The University of Huddersfield, inspiring tomorrow's professionals.